Welcome. Market is open. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing? Let me make sure you all can hear me. If you would go ahead, please type the number 1 in the chat box. Let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. There's nothing wrong, or nothing good, I should say, about me talking for the next hour or so and you not hearing a word I have to say. Horrible, actually. All right, let's see what we got here. Good morning. Helen, Daniel, good afternoon. I can hear you and see you on camera. There we go, Jim. That's perfect. Thanks, Jen. Kevin, how are you, sir? Welcome. Hey, Ed. Good morning to you. Hearing every word. There you go, Robert. Patty says, I like all the certificates on the wall. Nice addition. Yeah, Patty. I pretend that they're like my diplomas, right? They actually are actual certs that have expired, and we were able to pick up a bunch of them. We got, I think, 9 of them up there. So spent a little bit of time trying to figure out a layout for it, but we got them. So I'm excited. We have one more on the other side of the room as well. Very nice. How is everybody doing with their trades this morning? Let me know. Talk to me. Go ahead and type in your trades. Let me know what you're doing, keeping in mind that everything we talk about today is for educational purposes only. Whoops, too far. Nothing is meant to be advice or recommendation. So let me see the trades you've done so far today. Drop them in, baby. Come on. It's sharing time. Sharing is caring. Drop it in. Let me see what you've done. I don't care if it's funded. I don't care if it's non-funded. Sarah said nothing traded yet today. Small gains on some spreads, but no directional. Okay. Hey, I'll take the spreads. I'll take whatever we can get. It doesn't have to be just directional trades. All right. While you're doing that, type them in. So we got Inner Circle. We taught last week. What an amazing 2-day training it was. Wow. Including to the point that I got an email this morning that Amelia had forwarded to me from one of the students that was in our Charting Your Way to Success live training, Charles. He is part of our Power Option Plays. And we did our Power Option Plays live this weekend with the Inner Circle, where there was some interaction. They got to ask me questions along the way. And why this? Why not that? What about this? What about that? And really digs down into me. Instead of me just sitting there going, yeah, I know what I want to say. It gives you a voice that you can ask those questions. So those that were in the Inner Circle did a great job with that. It was a great training. Got Trading You coming up the 27th. That would be tonight. The 27th. Wow. Today, I have written it already today, right? I've written 9, 27, 85. 85? Yes. Is that when you married your wife? No, that's when we started dating. I married her 9/16/90. 9/27/85. So I've written 85 over and over again today. So 85, what are we talking about? 95, 05, 15. Oh my God. Wow. Is that like 36 years? Wow. I am blessed. She's still here. So I got to be really impressed with that. I'll tell you what. Mastering the Trade, that is for those of you that are in Power Option Plays tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Thursday. 29th? Wednesday. Thank you. The 29th is on Wednesday. You don't have to do anything. You will automatically be registered for it if you're in Power Option Plays. Monster Market Movers is the 30th. That is 2 hours on this Thursday night. Mastermind is Tuesday. Power Hour and the Trading Coaches Playbook are on the regular schedule this week, as is Power Option Plays, Covered Call Explorer, and E-mini Think Tank. I meant to bring this up with my team today in our meeting that we had earlier. But I think what I want to do is for those that are in Covered Call Explorer, I think we're going to do a live training and kind of give you a chance to ask some of those questions. For those of you that are not in Covered Call Explorer, it's real simple. When we get it scheduled, I'll get you a link that you can register for Covered Call Explorer. It comes with a 2-week trial. And if you decide it's not for you after the live training, cancel. It's okay. We'll still be friends. I have no problem with that. Right? But it'll give everybody a chance. I haven't done anything new in Covered Call Explorer in a while where I've given people an opportunity to ask questions. So I think this would be a good one. And we'll record it and put it in the members area also. All right. Here's our follow us page. Make sure that you are following along with what we do. Today was a light day for me as far as the number of videos. I think I only did 4 today, but it's Monday, baby. Here we are, right? Everything else going on. I think we only did 4 today. We did about 10 or 11 last week on Friday, so we've got plenty left over on Thursday. We got plenty left over to kind of run into today. I already saw 3 or 4 things come across my Instagram from us today, so you definitely want to be checking out all the various components of what we do. All right, so let me get to some of these comments here. There we go. All right, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let's see. Small gains, conflicting indicators, so didn't enter much. Suzanne said, did 1 small Amazon trade. Me too. Is Roman in here? I need to ask if Roman took that trade today. It's definitely a Roman setup. Roman, did you take that trade today? Ed said $275 on futures. Good job, Ed. Listen, if Ed just makes $250 a day and he does it 5 days a week, you're talking about $1,250 a week. Not a horrible thing. And I know Ed's style of trading. He's not out there. His nickname is Scalper Ed. He's not out there trying to get big runs. Daniel said, I'm having an okay day, made 14% ROI on 1 contract on SPY. Don't you love it? I do. I'm having an okay day with 14% for the day. It's an okay day. The whole market does 8 to 10 a year on average. Last year was an exception, right? On average. And Daniel made 14% in a day. Woo! I'm loving it. Sarah said, going on vacation to Maine on Wednesday, so most likely not trading this week or next. I completely understand. Jeff said, did a spread on Amazon. Nice, Jeff. Patty said, yes, Inner Circle was great this week. Thank you for that. Brenda is up over $400,000 on her Qs. So we get that hammer, baby. Bring that puppy down. Great job. Great job. Patty, I will see what I can do. Let's see. Robert S. said debit on MasterCard. 16 Roku. Bear call spread 17. I don't know if that meant percentages, but excellent there, Robert. Let's see. Hey, say hey. How you doing? Nothing yet with them. They have not done anything with me yet. So Williams said made $115 on the SPX Iron Condor in 2 hours. Nice. I'm loving it. Yeah. Brenda Barry said beware the IRS and taxes. When you like to have that kind of tax problem, I made $400 extra grand today. Ooh. And remember, I told you Brenda trades massive amount of contracts. Massive amount of contracts, right? So, yeah, a lot of congrats coming through for you, Brenda. Lots of congrats coming through. Excellent. All right. So many of you that have been around for a while know that Amelia is our head trader. She is phenomenal as a trader, right? What she does is absolutely outstanding. She puts trades in each and every day. They're done in toss. They're done in real time. So here she did a vertical spread. It was a debit spread on, who did we do this on today? MasterCard, the master of disaster. So she did a bull call debit spread. Now she had an outlay, and this was at 9:35, call 9:36 this morning. She had an outlay of $1.17. That's basically what she paid to enter into this trade. From there, she exited the position, and they paid her back $1.90. So what are we talking about? 20 to 90 is 73. 73 cents on this trade, right? We're only showing 1 contract. So what did that mean? She needed $117 to be able to trade today. So if you're following along with what Amelia does inside of Trade Watch Alerts, folks, you can do very well without having large accounts, right? You don't need a lot of money to do the strategies that she does in there. But we're looking at 62% rate of return in just 43 minutes. 62% in 43 minutes. I don't know. How many of you would be okay if you could just get 62% today? And the most you had at risk is $117. That's all it was. Every bit of it. Lots of ones coming through. Let's see. Daniel said, I'm just trying to keep getting base hits with small trades. The SPY trade took about 25 minutes to complete. That's it. Yeah, he goes, count me in, man, from YouTube. Count me in. I am there. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Yeah, a lot of ones coming through, of course, right? Now, will you get that every day? No, right? Will you get more? Will you get less? Will you have ones go against you? Really? They go against you? Even you? Yeah, especially me. I'm not any different than anybody else. Did trade on Friday. The second I hit enter, and of course, it's in my wife's IRA. So the second I hit enter, it went down. The second I got into the trade, literally, ding, what happened? It went down. I thought it was a mistake on the chart or something. Nope, no mistake on the chart. It was the price dropped. So you're going to find that no matter who you are or where you go, right? So let's take a look at the S&P 500. By the way, Amazon. Let's stop there for a second. Amazon. We took this gap down today. You can see where it opened, and we ran all the way down there. Our very low of the morning, 33.39.61. Okay? When we opened up today, this is me. Position one in the chair. Right? Nothing to do. It's in the middle of nowhere. God's country. What am I worried about it for? Can't do anything. Very quickly, Amazon went and got down to that 33.40.84 level. Whew, here I am. Just sitting upright, baby. Yeah. Focus. Right? Focus. Right? And we came down here to that 33.40.84 and watch. If we go back to TradeStation, we got this 5-minute chart. Here's my 33.40.84 level. Right there. Right down that bottom there. Actually, let's go ahead and let's give it more weight. Thickness 2. Such a unique name for it, huh? Thickness 3. I don't know. It didn't seem to like it. Anyway, that's the line. We came down. We closed. Pretty close. We popped up. Oh, I missed it. Closed right there. And look right here, guys. At 10:10 in the morning, boom. We took a nice bounce. And look at where that puppy has gone. Very nice. Now, the bid-ask spread on the option at that point was about $3. Right? But now you're talking about getting in at 43 or 44 or so. I think it's about where I got in, about 43, somewhere in there. And it's trading at 73. That's a 30-point move to the upside on Amazon, right? Smoking as far as a setup. Now, for some, you look at it and go, Rob, I ain't trading a $3 bid-ask spread. I understand. It is Amazon. You're not trying to pick up 25 cents here, 50 cents. You're trying to pick up a much larger move. We sat in this office the Saturday after charting your way to success. And Roman was sitting right to my left, speaker left, right over there on his chair, a chair. And we had the charts up on the monitor, just like we do here. And we were talking about Amazon. And one of the other members of Inner Circle said, would you have taken that trade based on something? I forgot what it was. And Roman made a comment. He goes, if Amazon can move $30 or $40, I'm taking the trade. Even though there might have been some resistance in there, you're not trying to get all of it. If you got a $30 move potential and you get out at 22, 25, you picked up a good majority of the trade and you crush it. You absolutely crush it on that trade, right? Amazon has been a great trade, right? I've got a trail set up on it now. We're okay. If it pulls back, goes against me, it's all right. We'll be all right. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Beautiful. Let's go back over here. How China's ban, that's our topic today, how China's ban on cryptos affects the world economy. Well, when you look at the markets, where are we at? Right, if we take a look, right, we're down 9 points on the S&P. Are we getting hurt? No, we're not getting hurt. Right? So China's ban, as it were, is not really that much of an effect on it. But can it be? And the answer is yes. There can be some significant issues there, but don't pigeonhole this into crypto. Don't put a finite point and drill down into that one small point and say this is it. It's not crypto. It is China flexing its muscles with everything that they seem to be doing lately. They seem to be attacking everything about everything when it comes to businesses and so forth. This $300 billion that is potential of being default, the companies making too much money. Chinese companies have the right to be or are required to be audited by the government. Well, and it has to be a Chinese auditor. Well, the U.S. has rules and regulations as well, and basically it says, no, we want U.S. auditors to audit your company. And China's like, no, it's a Chinese company. Well, you're on a U.S. stock exchange, so our rules apply. Now, if you don't want that to be, we could take an Alibaba off of the exchanges, or a Baidu, or whomever. We could take those companies off of there. Probably not good for the companies. Certainly not good for the government, since they rely heavily on taxes. It's no longer traded in the U.S. and all those shares are not available. There's some problems. So is China's Bitcoin, where they're now calling it illegal to buy and sell Bitcoin or cryptos, is that an effect on the market? No, because people have figured out how to get around Chinese rule, right? Hackers for a very long time, for decades, okay, on how to get around things. Can it be a bigger issue down the road? The answer is absolutely. So it becomes a waiting game. It isn't something we're going to really contend with right now, but you got to watch on how much more China comes and ratchets down on what they're allowing people to do. The control. Listen, I get it. Was I strict with my daughters? Absolutely, ultra strict. Right? It's funny. We have a little dog. His name is Sparky. He's this 10-pound Morkie, Maltese Yorkie. He actually celebrated. We had his 12th birthday on Saturday, and we didn't get him cake. My wife gets him ice cream, and he just laps that stuff up and then lays on the floor and snores for hours because he's exhausted after eating all of that. And if my wife is holding him, or even if he's on the floor, if a man walks in our house, he will bark at him all the time. Women, not as much. Some, but not usually. Men, all the time. And my wife goes, he's fine. He's okay. Don't worry about him. I said, actually, I trained him that way. You trained him that way? He barks at all men. Why would you do that? I have 2 daughters. Keep him in line, right? Keep the guys in line. He's our attack dog, right? All right. So what do we got here? Say Hey said, did think it would have been a trade because the big gap down away from Friday's close. And here's the thing, Say Hey, it comes down, we're back to Amazon, right? It comes down to one phrase. Does anyone want to tell me what that one phrase is? What's the one phrase that makes me say, hey, I want to take a look at this now? What am I looking for? Different phrase, Patty. It's not look left. Yep, Hunin. It is a support, yes. There we go. There we go, Trip. I love the abbreviations, right? There we go. Now you're getting it. There you go. Roman type the same thing in. All right. Hey, Robert K. It comes down to clear and concise entry. Clear and concise entry. For those of you that are not familiar with that, let me take a moment to actually dig in on that phrase. Concise is getting in at the right place. From a daily chart, you can't see that. You have no idea if the entry even existed, which is why I took you over to TradeStation to share with you the same horizontal line that was transferred over on Amazon. This was transferred over, and we lived there. 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, a little bit of a lift, then this rise here. But that close near that 33, 40, 84 level, we got right down and closed right there. That close there gave me a concise entry. What does that mean? It means I have minimal risk in the trade. When I saw us getting down in that first wick on that fifth candle of the morning right here, when we hit that horizontal line, remember, when we gapped down today on the open, I was here. We came down to that very first candle, I was sitting straight up. That wick stretched down and hit that support level, I'm on the edge of the chair. Position number one, position number two, position number three, right? And I saw where it closed, and I hesitated a little bit, saying, maybe just a little far away. I'd like it to come down a little bit more. And I saw the next candle move up and go, darn, I should have taken it. And I didn't. I passed on the trade. Came back down and closed even closer this time. Like, aha, aha. We're going to watch the open of the next candle. Sure enough, the next candle opens right there, stretches down a little bit, boom. Boom. Yes, it is a technical term. Gave us an entry into the trade right there. If I'm wrong, my risk is minimal. I could set just down below that support level and call it a day. If I'm right, I've got a good path to move. And that's where the other half of the phrase comes in, because all we dealt with was concise. The other half of the phrase is clear. Do I have a clear path to a resistance and not have a whole bunch of moving averages in my way and so forth, right? Yes, I do. My clear path takes me all the way up to these moving averages from yesterday. So 34.15 or so. I've got plenty of room to run. Plenty of room to run, right? Would it be okay to get out right here and maybe take it at a fibit, right? Just kind of a midpoint and just pull out of half of the trade? Absolutely. Yes. See, right? You could take half your trade off there and let it rock, right? That's a 30-ish point move already on the position. Jim said, I missed what is the fib line number on 3340. Oh, as far as the fib itself, Jim, I don't know. Let's see. I don't remember the percentage. 382. So we made the move up. We pulled back to the 382 and we bounced. Now, thanks, Robert. So how about this? Are you okay if I go a little bit into an advanced component here? If you understand it, great. If you don't, great. I'm not going to get too much in depth with the technical behind it, but are you okay with me starting to introduce you to maybe this more advanced piece of fibs that you could look at? Give me a 1 for yes, a 2 for no. $10. Okay, good, Robert. Robert gives me a 10. Those of you that were at Charting Your Way to Success, you saw something like this in Charting Your Way to Success. All right, a little bit of a mess there. So let's do this. I'm going to put it on a template that has no moving averages. I'm going to back this fib away just to clear the screen up a little bit. All right, say, hey, I appreciate it. And let's come and draw a fib right here. Actually, let's not do that. Let's draw the fib right there. Okay, there we go. So I have a secondary fib in there. What I am looking for is, do I have, excuse me, do I have confluence? What's confluence? Confluence says I have two things happening in the same area. It doesn't mean perfect spot on. It means they're close, right? So when I look at this, now if I zoom in on this chart, just to make things a little bit easier, get rid of some of that white space we had in there, I don't care about this 382 line. By the way, the long lines, the long fib lines, they are the ones that we started out with. All right? So we're not changing anything on the existing fibs. We're only going to make modifications to this fib here, right? If we start at the top, this 236 really does not have any importance to me at all. So we're going to delete that line. This 382, no importance at all, delete the line. This 3551 versus 3351 versus 3341, that's a 10-point difference. Yeah, we'll leave that one in. We can get rid of the 618. We can get rid of the 764. One more time. Come on. Okay. And now I'm basically left take those off with the check mark. I am basically left with this 3351 level, which now gives me, well, what does it give me? What am I was starting to do it. What does that give me? What I'm looking at now, what does that give me on there? Do, like Alex Trebek. Do. What am I going to draw? What color is it? You're all right. You got the right words. There you go. Bingo. Bingo. We're going to draw a blue zone. All right. Blue zones are very well known in health as places like Okinawa, where they did studies on tens of thousands of people worldwide and found areas that were very strong. And it all came back to the types of foods that they ate and so forth, right? But they were health zones, right? They were called blue zones. I copied the phrase here in the market that when we have that confluence and I can get a zone of 2 levels in there, I may get a wick stretching down past that 51 level and bounce from there. That to me could be enough to potentially take a trade. If it stretches all the way down to the lower line and that lower line holds, it's even better, right? But I've got a second level in there. That level this morning, as I'm watching this morning, could I have taken that off of the intraday chart? And the answer is absolutely unequivocally yes. I could have taken, because that 51 horizontal line. 34 or 51, I don't remember the exact. Must not have done it right. Must have hit a different number. I probably didn't get it all in there. I think I did 34. 33.51 is what it is. Okay. So look where that winds up coming in now. Let's just get that color change over to a darker blue. So now, what do you see? I see my lower line and I see my upper line, right? And we're talking about, we pierced through on this candle right here, right? We pierced it here. And then what do you notice on these, just jumping all over the place, on these other candles? What would you call that? E-mini think tank. Those that were in inner circle this week. And when I say E-mini think tank, when I was teaching it, what would you call those? That pattern, not those candles, that pattern, right? It's in that blue zone. Exactly. It's hanging out in that blue zone. Good. And so many of you helped build that strategy out. It's a pressure cooker trade. We're waiting for a breakout from there. So had I not taken the trade off of this candle's close and on this open taken a trade, I could have waited for this breakout, the retest of the 51 and the bounce and taken it from there. See, there is not just one way to skin a cat. There's 100 different ways that you can take this trade. It's all a matter of identifying things that are highly reliable, highly repeatable, and highly predictable. That blue zone helps me to identify that. Suzanne said, I took the bounce. There you go. Trip said, even got a second retest if you missed the first one. We did, Trip. Absolutely. We got that at 11:05, so still viable for me as a day trade for an entry. As long as it's before 11:30 or after 1:30, then I'm okay. But you did, and it was a great one, no less, right? Look at where we closed, and that was finally the catalyst to say, all right, it is time to get off of your duff and do something. And that's when we started this nice climb from there. Obviously, I like the entry much better down here than up in here, but you had multiple opportunities to take the trade. But Rob, it's Amazon, so don't do it on Amazon. Do it on Microsoft. Do it on Home Depot. Do it on Costco. I don't care. But what I just laid out for you, folks, this is some of the inner circle, secret sauce type stuff that we go through that you want to make sure you hang around us as much as possible. For some of you, you may say, well, Rob, I'm not ready, or I'm not there, I can't, or I just can't afford to join your inner circle. We should have a different conversation because you can't afford not to if that's what you're thinking. That's number one. But if you're that person, folks, get into everything that we do here. Whatever we do, dig into it. Get into Trade with Rob. Be here at Power Hour. Get into our Coaches Corner on Friday, right? Get involved. Make yourself known. Ask questions. Participate, right? We've got a couple hundred people in here, and maybe 20% replied to the last couple of questions I asked. And that's adding them all up. Adding them all up. Get involved. Don't look at it as, oh, somebody else is going to type it in. So remember, your energy is where my energy comes from. The more you participate, the more I do. The more you participate, the more I give. The more you participate, the more you get. All right? Just the FYI. Okay. All right, Mike, thank you. We'll take a look at that. Jonathan, I love it. Jonathan said, put on a debit spread if it's too expensive. Do a credit spread if it's too. There are ways that you still can trade it. So very, very valid point. As long as we can get around that bid-ask spread, without a doubt. For the day, the Amazon options are always the least expensive. Absolutely. If you look now on Amazon at options for today, if we took a 66 Delta, we're at 54, about $54 is the mid, right? So about $54 is your cost. What that means is it's $5,400 you're putting into one contract. I understand it can get costly. I get it. Amazon is not for everybody, right? It is something you may want to aspire to. So you take everything I just shared with you on Omega charts and drew that separate set of lines in there, came up with that blue zone, identified a pressure cooker, and you move it to any other stock you trade. It's just a matter of, do you have the clear and concise entry? That's where it all starts out, with clear and concise entry. Jim said, before getting into looking at stocks, can you cover your thoughts on the S&P head and shoulders forming? At least the right shoulder is forming. Okay, let's take a look, Jim. So if we look at head and shoulder, if this is our head, this is our left shoulder, and this could potentially be our right shoulder, right? You've got the armpits there, right, kind of wedging down, lower right shoulder potentially, if this is where we bottom out. Let's do that again. I want moving averages on there. And that's just it, Jim. Until we get the formation, I don't want to call it a head and shoulders because we're not there yet. We could see this rock and take off from there and be good to go on the S&P 500. Again, my belief is we should go down well under where we went on our low a week ago, last Monday. We need to go, and that's equal distant from top to where we hit our low one more time to get a 10% correction. But the market seems to want to fight every step of the way. And if that's the case, so be it. I'm going to trade the market at hand. But right now we are in depending on where we close. Where we closed yesterday, Friday, which was this previous day. This is today right here, where we closed here, put us into a bullish bias. Now, we spent a lot of time on this on Friday and Saturday of last week, talking about this in Inner Circle, but it was not a true bull. It was bullish, but not true bull. What does that mean? Well, if this were a stock, it would mean I can take a directional trade, but I can't take a full-sized directional trade. So if you're normally trading 2 contracts, you're going to want to take 1. If you're normally trading 10 contracts, you might want to take 2 or 4 or 5. You don't want to take a full series, the full size that you would normally trade, because it was not in the right order, meaning the moving averages. But it was enough of an order that I could start stepping in to the bullish entries on the position. So until we get a better close, Jim, it's hard to say. But 3 days now, if we close right about where we are, 3 days now, we're bumping our head on that 21. It's showing some serious hesitation at that point, right? Volume definitely needs to be checked to see how volume is doing in that area as well, what's going on for those days. Let's see, function. So, well, volume's not bad. Volume's at the bottom of the screen. You can't count today, of course. We came off very high volume with that gap, right, down. And then volume is kind of flattened off. So volume a little bit lower on Friday, but it's Friday, you know. But nothing really there telling me volume is not pushing the market. So back to this template. All right. Hope that helped, Jim. Say Hey said, with your research, I thought there was a day of the week when it was less. Well, so Say Hey, the way that we research everything is by every day of the week. So I check Monday through Friday. And Friday is going to be where your lowest cost is going to be. That option may be $30 on Friday versus $50 on a Monday. So that's what the research tells us. Jonathan said, first time hearing clear and concise entry, presumable an entry where a logical stop on the chart is very nearby. Interested to hear where or how you set your stops. Yeah, so setting the stops for a different day, Jonathan, right? But this is all part of what we do in power option plays, right? So my stops, my targets are all preset based on where support and resistance are. We use a percentage of that for determining where we're going to set that stop for the exit, right? If I was looking at the reason I brought up the Amazon, the way I traded the Amazon before, the reason I brought that up, the comment I had made was someone had put a comment in of, but I was afraid of it with the gap down. So my stop may not have been my normal stop, but I would have had a couple of dollars below that support level. Just if I'm wrong and it continues to drop, I don't have a large dollar amount at risk. I also took only half of my normal aggressive position, which means instead of taking 4 contracts, I took 2, right? Just to get my feet in that game. That now should I have added to the position? I should have, but I was driving when it moved up. Just Monday is not a day for me to do this at all. Meetings in the morning at home, and I'm in the car driving here ready to get here for some last minute things here before we get the show on the road, right, for today's Power Hour. So, all right, let's see. VIX is low. Absolutely, Jim. Yep. Jonathan said, super. I like to scale in as well, then risk on or get out. Okay. Yeah, so I do less of the scaling in. I do a lot of the scaling out. But when I have aggressive, which would be this, where my moving averages are not in the right order, the 8 should be above the 21, but the 21 is up there. In other words, my moving averages are not in the complete wrong order. It's not my shortest term is on the bottom, the medium is in the middle, and the long term is on the top. That's the wrong order completely. We're not doing anything with that, right? Unless it becomes a bearish trade. We're not going to take that setup, right? So, but absolutely, I'm with you. I'm with you, Jonathan. Cool. Go ahead and drop in your symbols. What stocks do you want to look at? Brenda put in QQQ. Drop them in early, folks. I can only go till we're done. So if there's more, I want to make sure we get them for you. So Brenda's asking for QQQ. There she blows. Okay. So we got a nice move on the fib. We got this breakout, that rollover on the top there. And today, this gap down. Little tough for me. I don't trade off the 55. A little tough for me to take anything on this. I would want to see, if I'm going to take anything, I would love to see us get back above the 21. But you can take the day trade between that 372 and whatever that 55 is, which is about 368. So you got about $4 potential in there. But not my favorite setup at all for the Qs. All right, let's see. Hope that helps, Brenda. Monica's asking for FRG. Franchise Group. Woo! What a move, baby. What a move. Let's go back and look historically what we got going on. Decent price stock. All right, so who is that? Monica. All right, Monica, let's chat for a second here. When I see the pattern that's on the chart, and actually, let me take us over to no moving averages. When I see this up, down, up, down, up, down, do I have a trend in there? Yeah, a little bit. Do I have a bigger one in here? Yeah, I did. But all the up, down gets to me a little bit. I look at that pattern, and it just makes me uncomfortable. We had this here. This was awesome, right? I love that move. If I actually go to this setting right here, all right. Nope, wrong one. So we come from that swing low up to whatever my highest swing high is here, probably right there. First test, how much room do I have between the 50 and the 618? It needs to be at least $1. 30 and a half, 31, we'll call it 31 and a half to 32. 30 and a half to 32. So we got $1.50 in there, so this one works, right? So I've got my fibs drawn on there. Do I need fibbits right now? Well, I'm looking at $2.60 as my fibbit, 35 to 37.88. We're close there, but we're definitely going to need a negative 136 on top. So we'll add that in there, right? We'll switch over to template number 2. Oh, boy. So good move today. Don't know why. Don't know what they did. If it wasn't earnings, it doesn't look like it was earnings. I don't know what they did or what caused this to take place at all. But we did push up to that $38 level. So here's the thing. That after that move, it's too hard for me to say, yes, I'm going to take a trade unless we come back down to the moving averages and take a bounce. But all of this in here does bother me that a pattern is more complicated to resolve itself. I'm not getting any kind of directional move that says, "Ooh, you can take a trade." Now, this is a little, it's okay here. But even this, that move up, that pull back, it's okay. But it's not like we had where the fib was. That was a nice bullish thrusting pattern. Then we kind of whipsawed, and then we just got sloppy. Just ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. So a little bit concerning for me there, but give me a pullback and a bounce off of the 8 before looking to take the trade. Hope it helps. MU, trip. All right, let's see. Let's pull this out. Actually, you know what? Let's get rid of this. All right. So Micron had been an overall bearish pattern. Its bias is ugly. If we close where we are right now, we'd be in a bullish territory. Not true bull, but bullish enough to take the trade. But I would prefer us to get back down below the 73.63 trip and look for a potential bearish trade. Nothing on this about bullish says to me, ooh, take it. It's a good trade. For me, it's not one I'm interested in at all. So not much there, but I'm looking for the bearish on it. Sure. Seasonality move for FRG. Okay, Monica, thank you. Let's see, what do we got there? Big airplane. Henry, it was great having you at the event. For charting your way to success. All right, earnings are okay. They're out here. Let's set the fib up properly. All right, I like where it is now. This put us into a bullish bias where we are right now, Henry. So if we close here and the moving averages would stay as they are, wonderful. It would be an aggressive trade because it's bullish, but it's not true bull. The moving averages are not in the right order. The brown needs to be on the very bottom. If you could flip the brown to the bottom of this without getting, doing anything crazy, then you'd be in the right order. We could take a full trade. So I would take an aggressive trade, which means I would take, for me, 4 contracts. My normal is 10, so I would look to take 4. A lighter load on my contracts is what I'd be looking for. Right? And then give me the bounce off the 223, and you're looking at 234 as resistance. You've got a lot of opportunity with this one. All right, Paul said Adobe. And Jonathan had Adobe Nest, and I'm looking at Adobe to the downside. So let's go look at Adobe. The only thing we should be considering Adobe for right now is the downside, right? Nothing you can do today with this gap down, very hard to do much. It's kind of just a spiral of free flow. There's nothing stopping you at this point. Woo, just go, baby, go, right? It's tough for me to say take a trade on this. You could do something up to that 5 or 609 level. If it closes where it is now, pulls up and closes near the 609 and drops, great. Closes here, tomorrow closes at the 609 and then drops, great. But my moving averages are so far away. We talked about this over the weekend of building out a grading system for the entry into a trade. And I talk about just A, B, and C. I would give this a C just because I don't have enough around it. It's too far away from the moving averages. It's too far away from a fib right now. So there's nothing there for me yet. If we can get a pullback and a drop, absolutely. I hope that helps both Paul and Jonathan. Daniel's asking for SPY. Come on, wham, there's today's candle. So we're in that same type of pressure cooker like we looked at earlier with the S&P 500. I'm kind of back here. It's been the moving averages, which is why I didn't trade it today, which is why you saw Amelia didn't show it today. Excuse me, for the trades that she took on there. I love this. Don't get me wrong. I love the move ever since the gap came down on Monday of last week. I love it. But we're at a point now where someone's got to put on their big boy pants and make a decision. And I'm talking about what the market's going to do. Is the market the bull's going to push forward or the bear's going to take it back? Was this nothing more than a here kitty kitty? Right? Where you just drawing you in. Come on, baby. Let's bring you in the fold. Come on. No, you can do it. Wham. Right? With a 50-pound sledgehammer. So caution here. Again, if I got above the 21, the green line, and a close there, I like it. I like it a lot. But just a little bit of caution with where it is right now. Day trade would all I'd be looking to do. LYV, which is Will. All right, so I like the fib. We're looking at 88 to 95, we'll call it. 7 points. I don't know why my numbers didn't come in today. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, we definitely need to at least split that. Six and a 118. All right, so Will, get me above the 94.63. Give me the close. Retest the 94.63 and about 94.5 to 98, about 5 points. So Hope that helps. And then Mike's asking for LVS. All right. What was it? LVS. Just trying to make sure I'm keeping up with the comments that are coming through. Las Vegas Sands. Guys, until we can get a clear picture of what's going on in the market as far as COVID openings, are they going to shut airlines down if you're not vaccinated? You know, that's definitely a fear. Definitely a fear. New York State employees kick in today, with the exception of teachers, New York City teachers. They're going back to court again, although they already lost once in court for you have to be vaccinated. And if you're not and you can't have your job any longer, they'll have it for you if you get vaccinated, which I don't know how they're going to do that. But you can't even collect unemployment if you're not vaccinated. Just whether I believe in vaccines or not, I don't believe in government intervention like that. So because it's just everything you're seeing is the starting point. It's the tip. Granted, much of what the ramifications could become from this are not, I will not see in most of my lifetime. But for my kids and my grandchildren, there's some serious ramifications if the government keeps taking away all the liberties and says, no, we're within our rights, we don't care what you say or not, we're within our rights to force you to get an injection. Even if it's against religion, which we don't do, right? We're forcing you. So I even don't have to get my kids vaccinated if I just don't want to send them to a city school, right? Can't force me to do it. So now, with that being said, who was LVS? Mike, I'm just not, bearish potentially, but every little whiff of, but we may be coming, but Delta Airlines says it, but right, if we look at Delta Air, that didn't work. Right, we get this pop day over here. Yeah, big days. Roll right back over. Right. So just caution about them. There's nothing about it that I see. Downside, fine. I would be looking for very short term. Richard is asking for a Tesla. Okay, I'm a big Tesla fan. Have been, will be. I'm an Elon Musk fan. That's really what it is. You know, Elon Musk is one of those people that no matter what he does, he's going to succeed. No matter what project he takes on, he's going to crush it. There's not a question to me. He will crush it, right? So with where it is today, what do I need to have happen? Close somewhere above that fib line, which is the 618, which is 779. Somewhere above that 779, retest and bounce. 800 is our first target right up in here, right? Which we're there now. Basically, we're at 795, right? But I like the breakout. So here, let me write it down. 778.92. I know we're cutting it close. Whoop, whoop, whoop. $778.92. All right, there it is. So what happened? We closed right at it. We pushed up. My wick came all the way up here to about 781 from 778, right? Nice move up. We retested right here and bounced, right? So could you have found an opportunity at that 780 level? And right now it's trading at 793. Yes. Yes. I like it a lot. So we go back into Omega charts. That's what I'm looking for. Give me the retest and the bounce just like it did today, and that would be my opportunity. Biogen. Mike's asking for Biogen. I used to trade this religiously. Loved Biogen. Haven't traded in a while. Once it got flat and we went months, I just kind of walked away. Almost to the day after we took it out of pop, we got that kind of move, right? So we go from 265 up to 400, and then it's been in a drift ever since. So come back to the 300 and bearish to the downside, Mike. Be careful, earnings are coming out. So one more day, and you got to confirm them, but one more day, and we'd be at day trades only. Let's see. Sounds like discrimination by our government. Robert, I was trying to read both comments you put in there. This is Robert K. And I thought you wrote in there, sounds like discrimination by your government. I'm like, your government? You live in the same damn country I do. Yes. Well, listen, I'm still a very big fan of, what do you call 100 politicians at the bottom of the ocean? A good start, right? I don't care who you are. If you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, I really don't care. I don't. I'm a big Blue Bloods fan. And the new mayor that got elected, some rich guy, I guess, and he, businessman, he got elected as mayor, and he was sitting down with the daughter of the main family, Erin. She's the district attorney. And she said, I really liked some of your campaign slogans and your promises. And he said, and most of them were true. And she kind of went, what? And he said, well, doesn't really matter, does it? They all have to be true now. I won. Right? It's just most of them were true. Yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lower your taxes and raise your wages. Well, I thought about it, and it really doesn't work. Right? So go figure. Right? And let's see. Liberty and justice for all. Listen, I'm with you, my friend. Robert, I got you. You know me, 100%. Right? Okay. Without getting too much on a high horse, there is a reason that this business for me of trading the market is so important. They can tax us and they can do things like that, but controlling my income is really up to me. I make the decision, right? But guys, I'm going to tell you right now, and I don't mean this in a negative or, I'm better than someone else type way. But when I first learned how to do this, anything that I do in life, I've been told, major thing I've taken on, I've been told by people very close to me in my life that I will never accomplish it. I was told I couldn't be successful with my own business. I started a construction company right out of high school and did phenomenal. I was told without a college degree, I would never go past middle management in a company, and I went to run an $80+ million international company. Right? I was told by the speaker trainer that I did not have the energy to teach a 2-day stock market education class. I don't have the energy, really now. Okay. Just FYI, I went to a company where I was teaching 3-day stock market education. Not far back. So everybody that has told me you can't do this. When it came to trading, my own father saying you're nuts, you're not going to learn how to do this. You're going to lose all your money. Stop. Don't just give it to a broker. Let them decide what to do. Blah, 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 blah. Right? I do whatever it takes to get done. If you've not yet figured out your educational plan, your financial plan, listen, you ain't got enough money in the brokerage account, go work at Domino's. Go pick up bottles and return them for 5 cents a piece. Don't come up with excuses. Come up with ways to fix it. When I was in manufacturing, don't you dare bring me a problem if you don't have a solution. I don't want to know about it. Bring me the solution. Everybody, I know we got a problem. We got a leaky faucet. What should we do? Get a plumber. See? I got a phone call, panic phone call in a big executive meeting. Rob, somebody hit the overhead door. We can't close the door today. It's a Friday. I've been trying to get you for hours. Yeah, and I'm locked up in a company meeting. So get the guy to fix it. Well, he wants $1,800. I said, Charlie, what are you going to do? If you don't close the door, are you going to stay over the weekend? He goes, I can't. I got plans. I said, great. So what's the choice? Well, you have to make that decision. You're the shipping manager. Make the decision, right? Guys, I have no problem making decisions, ever. Ever. My decision with this business was to do whatever it took to become successful. I laid out that I was going to go to one seminar every quarter, and that turned very quickly into one seminar every month, right? Then online stuff started. Oh, man, I was all over that. I was in everything that I could get my hands on online, right? I found the coaches that I liked, and I did exactly what they told me. Any of you that are out there today, here, Amelia, are you in here with us today? Sean, is Amelia in here? I think so. Any of you that are out here, that are here today, that are sitting back and going, Rob, I don't know what to do. I am stuck and I want to move forward and I'm not sure what's right for me. Then what I will do is if you will send an email to support, right? And guys, I'm not here to just BS and just chat about your trades. I'm talking about systems. I'm talking about what you need to do to move forward to become successful. If you want me to spend 15 minutes with you, send an email to support. I can't tell you when it's going to be. My schedule is packed all the time, but I will make time to work with you. But again, I'm not here to talk about, well, what did I do wrong on this covered call trade? That's not what this is. This is about the bigger picture of what you need to do to get yourself to success. I can help get you there if you will help yourself. I said it at Charting Your Way to Success. Reach out your hand and I'll grab your entire arm. I will help get you there. Send an email. And if Amelia didn't hear me, she's going to be like, why are all these people sending emails to meet with Rob? I'm with you, Robert K. I'm with you. Say congratulations to you, and you are a perfect example of being committed. Thank you. Yep. Amy dropped the link in there with the email, support@wealthbuildershq.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we're done. Make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, folks, you're just one trade away. Let me help get you there. Let me help push you over that edge. Thank you very much. And we'll leave the room open so you guys can grab that link. And I will see all of you at our next update. Take care, folks. Bye for now.